What's good, YouTube? The One Outcast back with another video and another video about my experience with a Rivals 2 beta. And judging from the roadmap, we only have a couple more of these left. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about a couple comments from the Reddit post that I made for my first video on the Rivals 2 beta. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty scramble-brained with making my first Rivals 2 beta experience, and that was because I recorded that damn thing 5 separate occasions, so I may have misspoken in a bunch of points that I was trying to make, but anyways, I'm here to clear the air about that. So pretty sure I explained why I think Drifty Eye could have been a thing, and I recommended it as one of the two options. Now, the devs could have implemented Drifty Eye, or emphasis on or just bouncing every single move over time, which in retrospect, that is the correct option after playing Rivals 2 in 2 separate weekends. And I can see why people want Drifty Eye, because looking at it again, most of the returning cast moves have like Drifty Eye accounted for in Rivals 1, and they're using pretty much the same movesets in a game where Drifty Eye doesn't exist. So yeah, they honestly are gonna have to rework that, which is fine, and I could see the reasoning for that on why Drifty Eye shouldn't be in the game, but most people are gonna look at wanting to put Drifty Eye because things are so out of whack right now. Another thing I wanted to address is competition like being stale, and to me the competition is just going to continue getting stale unless there's like a enormous spike in new players. But however, with the skill gap currently in place right now in Rivals 1, there's less likely of like just anomalies of people just making upsets less likely to happen, because again of the enormous amount of a skill gap there is in Rivals 1 right now. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let me talk about something I also just got wrong about last video, and that was about plat boosting. Now, plat boosting in Rivals 1, if you execute it, the whole thing is you input a plat drop and jump during the initial dash, because plat boosting maintains your initial dash momentum in the air to give you that aerial boost, like for follow-ups and more mix-ups and all that fun stuff. Just basically another way for you to chase the opponent in the air. And honestly, I still think it should be in the game, because I think it's pretty cool. And shoutouts to Astra for really correcting me on that one. So yeah. Now, I kind of want to touch on the things I really didn't like in this patch, and it's that crouch canceling is way too strong in this patch. Doing moves like Rano down tilt is absolutely useless, up until 87%, and this is pretty much with like any move that isn't a multi-hit, to my understanding. A multi-hit or a strong, to my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think crouch canceling is way too strong, but that can obviously be fixed, hopefully, if the devs are willing. Personal preference thing for me, shields are too strong, and the reward for shield breaks I still think is lackluster, in my opinion, but that's just me. I again could be wrong. I've already been proven wrong in the last video. And by extension of crouch canceling being too strong, tilts are kind of trash in this patch. So yeah, there's that. One thing I did like is wall tech jump doesn't burn a wall jump, which it shouldn't have in the first place, but that goes to show that the devs are really working on this game, and we're just kind of the guinea pigs, but this is what we paid for, so take it or leave it. And yes, I know that there were still character changes in this patch for this beta, and I am not really gonna go into all of that because, like I said, it's still a beta. Things are subject to change. Even the things I talked about are still subject to change. So I'm not too pressed with the unbalanced things in this game so far, like characters and whatnot, and even the mechanic changes or other mechanical stuff I do not like. I'm not too pressed because this right now with Rivals 2, this is still a better jumping point from Rivals 1 in 2015 in early access. In fact, if you want to check out how unbalanced things were back then, I have a video of me playing that patch. Go ahead and check that out if you are curious. Now, I'm bringing this up because of all the negativity this game has been getting when it's not even out and it's a beta. And to put it simply, this is a video of my Rivals 2 experience as a Rivals 1 competitive player May Edition, and this was part of my experience when I was scrolling through Twitter and when I was streaming the damn game. And I get it's coming from a loud and passionate minority of people that feel this way, but you gotta understand that it makes Rivals 1 players look bad to the eyes of other people that play Plat Fighters and people who want to get into Plat Fighters. And also, it looks like it's coming from a place of emotion than just rather gathering video proofs of their argument. And to those that are doing that, thank you for at least taking the time to do that, honestly. At least there's irrefutable proof, and you're not just going off of emotion. Despite everything, I am still excited at the prospect for competition for Rivals 2, because in that weekend alone, I didn't have to ping Discord or matchmaking servers to get games in with people. I just got games quick when I just got onto the matchmaking, which is an uncommon thing for Rivals 1. And this was only for people who paid for the damn thing. Let's think to the future of what happens when the game fully releases. It'd probably be even bigger, if anything. Now, I'm not against using matchmaking servers to grind, because honestly, yeah, you want to play with people that are the same level as you and that want to get better. But I'm just talking about getting into the game and just wanting to just play the game and not have to interact with people. This shouldn't be a hard ask. And this only is a thing if we got more players in the pool. From my point of view, this influx of new players only happens because it cuts what made Rivals so unique to the genre. And you know what? I'm down for sacrificing some uniqueness as well as lowering the barrier of entry if it has mass appeal. Now, if you think I'm capping with needing to cut back what made Rivals 1 so unique just for mass appeal, if Rivals 1 was so amazing, why weren't people entering tournaments for them? You know? If you don't mind, let's go over some numbers real quick. Shoutouts to MSG, Mountainside Games, for hosting this tournament series called Grand Slam. And I just want to take the time and compare Grand Slam to the big three Rivals majors that we have. The big three Rivals majors that we do have would be Riptide, Genesis, and Heatwave. And as we can see, Grand Slam 14 beats out Genesis and Heatwave. Riptide only barely beating out a monthly tournament series based in Vancouver. Wow, isn't that something? The 3 super majors for Rivals couldn't even beat a monthly from Vancouver. Amazing. But you know what? Let's be fair. Like, MSG announced that Grand Slam 14 was going to be their last ever Grand Slam ever. So, fine, let's cut some slack and let's compare Grand Slam 13, 12, and 11. And I'm sure with these numbers on screen, it shouldn't be a surprise that the Rivals only event is the only one that does not break past a 100 mark. But you know, Grand Slam 13, 12, and 11 are able to for some reason, you know? Yes, Ultimate's a bigger game, but this is still only a monthly from Vancouver. Like, dude, are we being for real right now? And also, keep in mind, out of the examples I've shown, Grand Slam 12 is only at 136 because, as you can see, there's an address change. So people aren't really willing to drive out that far. But you know what else is another fun fact? Grand Slam 11, 10, and 9 would like always break past the 100 barrier and would keep growing. And that's because they kept moving the goalpost with max capacity with what they were allowed. So they were effectively growing. And also, here's another tidbit for Grand Slam. It was essentially a one-day sign-up because the slots would fill up fast. And I should know from prior experiences because I tried signing up to one of these and I barely got into one of them. So why doesn't this happen for Rivals for their super majors? You know? But Rivals 1 is peak. So much so that Rivals 1 never gets a top 8 at Genesis. Whether it be for Genesis 8, 9, and you know what? Rivals 1 did get a top 8 for Genesis 10, but it was on the Saturday, the second day. But you know what did get the main stage? Rivals 2. But guess what? Another top 6. Damn, we couldn't even be allotted 2 more sets for this. For just having top 8 for Rivals. Unbelievable. Another fun fact in my research for this portion of the video, I looked at Super Smash Con for Smash 4, and that had 344 entrants for a game that is basically 5 years dead at this point. Yeah, I get it, it's Super Smash Con, but like, come on, man. Like I said before, the game's 5 years dead, like, into it. Like, that's higher than any Rivals majors that I know of at this very moment. Like, we can't even beat a game that's 5 years dead. Come on, guys, be for real right now. Like, we need more players. Now, I could keep going with this in comparing side events at majors for Smash and then comparing it to Rivals majors, but the more I did this, the more frustrated I got and the more sad I got doing that. So I'm just gonna stop right here, right now, while I'm ahead. And yeah. However, this could all change with Rivals 2. And we could finally have a tournament that breaks past 300 with Rivals 2 because it has more mass appeal than Rivals 1. And why am I being so optimistic about Rivals 2? Well, a couple points. First of all being, yeah, the skill barrier is way down compared to 1. Like, it's so much easier to get into 2. And reason 2 why I'm being so optimistic is because things can still be changed in the future. We just need just need to stay positive on that and just have faith in them, as hard as it is to some, because we all want the answers right away, but unfortunately we can't do that. And it is frustrating not having feedback being heard, but who knows, things are subject to change for this. And then also reason 3 why I'm being so optimistic for this game is because, well, if this game flops, that's it. That's it for Plat Fighters, if I'm being honest. Seeing how Multiverses is now on release as of, I'm recording this May 28th, and yeah, seeing how that's going, yeah. So yeah, kind of hinges on Rivals 2 in my eyes. Because again, if this game flops, that's it for Plat Fighters. Like, what sane person is gonna put money into this genre, if I'm being real? And yeah, Smash will still be there, but that's if Nintendo decides to not pull the plug on every single tournament, or like they just, you know, decide randomly to make it even harder to host events, then that's also it for Smash. So really, like, this is all we kind of got. You know what I mean? And if you're still unconvinced about Rivals 2, then like, alright, how would you get new people into Rivals 1? Because joining Discords and joining matchmaking servers and then the Academy Discord's already a hassle, and then navigating through that, you're already asking too much of a new player. And then there's no proper updated character guides. Like, there's not even character tutorials to my knowledge of the Workshop 4 characters. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Like, I'm just going in blind on this one. But yeah, and even if there is, it's probably not updated either, because the devs patch this game constantly, you know? Okay, well, constantly is a strong word. Enough to change the character guide is what I meant. They patch the game enough to like where some things are just outdated. So people that really defend Rivals 1 and the uniqueness, how would you get people to sign up to these tournaments or new people to get into the game? Because seriously, I'm on my Mark Anthony right now, because baby, I need to know, how would you even do it without essentially making them join all these Discord servers? Because to me personally, I don't see myself competing in Rivals 1 at all if there's like no influx of new players or new people just absolutely rising up. There were some new faces in top 50, but it just seems like those new faces only appeared because legacy players just decided to stop playing, like, completely. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It feels like I got top 40 just off the fact that people just decided to stop playing entirely, you know? So, like, we have 10 people leave, for example, but then only 10 people rise up, from what I see, instead of it being 15 to like 25 new competitors, new contenders, like, in that top 50. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Because in my point of view, it seems like passion is what's driving people to compete, and I guess, like, I don't have enough passion or love to compete like that because it doesn't go that deep, and my pockets don't go that deep to attend tournaments with, like, attendance of like 12. Like, it doesn't run that deep for me. So yeah, again, that's where I'm at right now. And that's gonna cap off my Rivals 2 May beta weekend thoughts and feelings on the matter. Sorry, it ends like kind of on a grim note, at least compared to the last video. And if you liked me and the video, like and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitch, and I stream on weekends and Mondays, on Twitch and YouTube, and you can follow me on Twitter for any updates that I may have, whether stream is cancelled or when I go live. And yeah, and if you disagreed with anything I said, or I got anything wrong, or you have further comments, like of if you agreed with me, please comment. And yeah, thanks for watching.